This is episode 5. We've got a guest with us today. This is Ben, one of our old friends from high school.
Not my friend. Newly
Evening.
acquainted friend.
Newly acquainted.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go. We already made the times together.
You know, to make the spiritual pact even more, we should all put our hands against our camera so we can feel the warmth of each other. Why the fuck is no one else doing it?
I'm sorry.
God, the moment's over.
I feel
What?
warm.
No, I don't. I feel hated. There's so
Oh,
much mistrust now.
Denied. Yeah.
feel betrayed.
But what is gonna be some things that you think we're gonna talk about tonight, boys? Or some questions we want to ask Ben?
Ben, what's good?
Not much
What's
lately.
new? What's happening? What's happening? What's gonna happen? What happened before?
Stellar.
life, new job.
What's that?
Life, new job.
Life, new job. You're a new father with a new job.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
How far into fatherhood are you?
About 2 years in.
Ooh,
Wow.
That's not bad.
dang.
Same, man. And me and Clay over here just like, yeah, man, being single's awesome. No kids.
Get to do whatever we want all the time.
Only responsibility is you, yourself, and you.
Yeah.
I like diddling myself when no one's around. So.
We're not supposed to talk about that in public,
No,
Dakota.
that's one thing. That is something worth talking about. You have the freedom to just on the drop of a hat, anytime you want. You're like your time management has got to be so easy.
For just
It's like-
living in or
Anything. It's I want to go do this, and then you just fucking get the fuck up and you go and do it.
That's true.
kinda, not really, because it just like depends. Because like I had this planned. Like I'll let you know right now. The dedication to you guys and the podcast right now is work called me in to go work for a little bit. I had a buddy try to get me or convince me to go hang out with them and do like some little friend family stuff, and I said no. And then I also got invited to go to some fake ass like coffee bar place where I live, and I said no. So you're welcome.
I'm so
Much love.
flattered.
And also, I
I
got
am.
to stay home and play video games for like a couple more hours. So fuck them.
Fucking A.
but
But I mean, like
no, go ahead.
the freedom of like, hey, I want to go to the store because I need to pick up some smokes. You just fucking, you don't have to worry about if you have all the shit that you need to go to the store. Like, I have to anticipate the fact that I'm going to take my child in public. So I got to get her dressed with shoes and socks because I don't want my kid looking bummy when I go to the store, you know? Like, you don't have to think about any of this. You can just stand the fuck up and just fucking go to the store and get yourself a pack of smokes.
No,
I mean-
I want to look good when like I'm pretty sure me and Clay are probably not gonna go out all fucking like in some dirty ass clothes when we go out. Like we want to look nice.
Right.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I gotta make sure I have shoes and socks on when I leave the house, so I don't look bummy.
Right. You do that for just yourself, though. You don't
Yeah,
have to do everything that you do for yourself twice.
Yeah. No,
Well,
I just thought it was a good joke.
but here's
Yeah.
here's the worst part. Actually, bringing that up, Randy, and probably for you too, Ben, is that with as the part that you said of like not dressing up your kid and stuff, that actually makes you look like a bad parent too. So that is also like a double negative on your part. You know, it's like, oh man, I can't fucking dress my kid, and also I look like a piece of shit parent because I can't take care of my kid properly. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys kind of got a little fucked over on that part and life right now, while me and Clay are kind of like, look at this, just a t-shirt and some fucking jeans, baby.
Yep.
Right. Ben, are you?
We
I
can't
think we
hear you,
lost your
Ben.
audio, Ben.
Yeah.
Especially because me and Randy have girls, so we have to like
Mm.
think extra hard about how they're presented.
Oh,
Like if I
Yo.
had a
especially
son,
because
he's
it's
gonna be big
so
as
easy to
fuck.
mistake them for boys. It's so easy to for your child to get mistaken for a boy unless you're dressing her in feminine clothing.
Yeah, because they don't have long hair, and it's like, come on, just look a
Yeah.
little hard.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
then
never
there's
been
all
hard for me. Most people have like a radar for that sort of thing. You could see like the femininity or the masculinity in someone's face, but then other people just get confused over it. It's so weird. But
Well, because sometimes the children look like their dad. Like my daughter looks like me a lot, so people think, oh, looks like him, must be a boy, and it's like,
mm,
I have a fucking story for you gentlemen that happened a couple days for me at work.
okay.
it, it happened. It didn't happen once. It didn't happen twice. It happened 3 times in the same day. But while I was working, obviously, everyone, like, I have a beard going on and I have long hair. And obviously, my voice is very masculine, very deep at points, or I can shift it higher so I can talk to people normally. I got mistaken, well, not mistaken, I should say, while I was having a conversation with some people, they called me ma'am.
Really?
Yeah, but for their what is it? Their reply or their excuse was it was like habit. And I was like, it's okay. Like I tried to play it off and make a joke, but it made them feel super uncomfortable, even though I was trying to get a laugh out of them. Because it'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
so how are you doing today? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Like, thanks, ma'am. And I was like, well, excuse me? Like, oh, I mean, sir. I was like, nah, I know. I'm really pretty for a guy. Don't worry about it. And then it just gets super awkward and silence for a minute. Like, bro, you're supposed to laugh, not make it all fucking weird. Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to do you a solid to make it safe instead of you looking like an asshole to me.
Right. They make it even more awkward. It like kind of backfires on you in a weird way.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
good deed goes unpunished.
That shit happens to me over the phone because my voice is a little high, a little nasally, and so I'll be talking on the phone with like some customer service rep, and I'm really polite over the phone. I think it's just the way I'm just emulating the way I listen to my mom talk on the phone growing up. But I'll be on the phone and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, thank you. That'd be great. Oh, thank you so much." Just as like a pleasantry, is like and the lady on the other end will be like, "Oh, thank you, ma'am." Like, and then for the rest of the call, I'm like Star Lord at the end of Endgame. I'm just like, "So yeah, my credit card information is."
Yeah,
speaking
I
of
like that.
mistaken identity,
Hey,
um,
Ben,
there was a
Ben, we
couple of
lost your
times.
video, man.
Oh,
I can see him. I can still see him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you can still see him, it's fine. Just roll with it.
All
okay.
right.
Speaking of mistaken identity, there was a couple of times, when you go out to eat, they ask for your name and shit.
Mhm.
And they're like, "Hey, what's your name?" And I was like, "Benjamin." And I would get my receipt, and it would say Ben Jar, and I was like, "What? Where did you get that from?" Like, and there was
Oh,
even there was even a couple of times where they're like, "Hey, what's your name?" And I'm like, "Benjamin." And my name is spelled Benjamin, and they spelled it Bengermen. And I was like, "What? I
What the
thought
What?
my
fuck
name
is
was
wrong?
common."
Ben German. Are
It's all
you?
right. Go ahead, Dakota.
I just want to ask, are you actually in your ancestry? Are you German at all?
No, I'm
All
actually
right.
more in French.
It's all right. Ever since Clay Thompson blew up, every once in a while I get my name with a K on fucking Starbucks cups and stuff like that. I'm like, really? Clay Thompson was the first and only person I've ever known that spells it like that, and now that's all I get.
Yeah, that's not. I don't. Why would that be your go-to? That just doesn't make any sense.
It's weird.
Do you know your heritage, Clay?
I'm German and Jewish, so that explains a lot about why I hate myself. But just a joke. It's too easy. It was right there. But so I'm German, Jewish. I'm one of those Neapolitan white guys, so I got a little bit of everything. Some Irish, some fucking.
He's UK without the K.
Actually, so my grandmother, nobody even knew this, but my grandmother just did one of those Ancestry.com things recently, and she said a great deal of our DNA comes from Wales. So I was like, well, that explains my teeth.
Welsh bastard.
Jesus Christ. Wales.
On my mom's side, I know I'm British and Irish, but on my dad's side, I know nothing about my dad's side heritage at all. I don't think. Yeah, no.
Really?
None of us know. Yeah, none of us know our ancestry. It's really strange. But I can tell you that Kendrick is Scottish. Found that out at a Scottish festival. They have this big old book full of last names for you to look up, and if your name's in it, it tells you your history of your last name. Yeah,
Word.
we're Scottish, assuming nobody was adopted.
Assuming no one was.
That's cool. At least being able to pinpoint it.
Yeah.
Obviously.
They actually gave us a big old giant. They gave us a big old giant long, historic. A poster, I guess, with a long passage on it about the history of it. We had it up in our house for a while. I don't remember what happened. I think. Did we lose Ben?
Yeah, we did lose Ben. I think he's just busy because he's just muted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's probably parenting, my dudes.
Yes.
But what were you gonna?
Yes.
Yeah. He's back. See, no worries, guys. He's not dead.
Not dead. The man lives.
The man is here.
I forgot we talked for a little bit before we started recording, and we said we were gonna bring something back up.
I know what it was. Yeah, it's about feet selfies.
Yes.
Oh, now I regret bringing it up.
You did what?
No. There's nothing of what's did or what has been done.
It's a thing. This is bigger than us. This is beyond us. This is leg selfies. Selfie sticks.
No, it's not a selfie stick.
When you use it in this manner, it becomes a selfie stick.
We were all there. Remember, he mentioned taking selfies with your feet, which makes sense physically because it's the same material as your hand. But I can't imagine why someone would do that.
I mean, people are weird, but this thing, it was happening a couple years ago at least, because there's probably still a video about it too, where this chick's she's got really hot selfies going on, and then you get to see the behind the scenes of how she did it, and then she's using her feet to take pictures. It was bro, what the fuck? I'm so
the
confused.
Reality of it's just so sad.
Yeah, well, no, it's not sad. She's fucking hot, but I mean, you know,
it's like it doesn't matter how. It's like it doesn't matter how hot you are, no matter what. If you see a hot girl take a fake picture of herself sleeping, and you know that picture was taken by her and they're faking sleep, you're still gonna laugh at her no matter how hot she is.
Yeah, it's still ridiculous.
To be fair, people have foot fetishes.
True
Yeah.
facts.
This is true.
But if you're taking the selfie with your feet, you're not really seeing them in the picture, though.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just a
not
weird thing to do in general. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You got to get the dual foot action where you're taking a picture of one foot with your
With
other
the,
foot.
'Cause,
Those are
yeah,
called feet pics, my dude. They're not selfies. They're feet pics.
yeah, yeah. Because I have nothing against any fetish or sexual orientation that isn't. Well, pedophilia is not a sexual orientation, but you know anything that's not like sick and disgusting, perverted.
Obscene.
Going with that?
Yeah. No, not even pervert. When I say perverted, I mean something. I'm mainly talking about like pedophilia. I don't, if you're into piss, shit, feet, ass, even blood, if the other person's consenting, dude, I don't give a fuck. I've met the wildest of the wild, but
I mean, there was
obviously,
something that compelled Two Girls, One Cup.
right.
Like there's a reason to happen.
But I was
Still,
trying not to use like popular jargon, but basically, as long as two people are consenting, go do whatever the fuck you want.
still gonna pray for
Luckily,
those scat fetishers. That's just unhealthy.
That
Hey
is pretty.
man,
It's hard not to
Vor
judge
is
those.
kind of hot.
not for me. I think okay, if it's socially acceptable to find sexual attraction to shit, is it socially acceptable to find sexual attraction to blood?
Yeah.
It's not that it's yeah. Thank you. That's the short answer, but it's not that it's socially. It's not that it's socially accepted. It's the fact that it's not. We're not going to take these people and burn them at the stake either. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
most people, they're going to keep stuff like that to themselves. Much like religion and politics and all these other topics, it becomes like as long as you're not shoving it down other people's throats, and
Well,
it
it's like
shouldn't.
you're keeping it to yourself until you're not keeping it to yourself. You know,
So
eventually you're going to get a partner and you're going to want to talk to her about the whole blood thing.
Or
You're
him,
gonna
it
be like,
but that's
depends
what
on.
I'm talking about. It's consent. If you have consent, if two people are consenting, then at that point, who
well, I'm
cares?
just
Yeah.
hypothetically, I'm speaking as if it would be one of us in this situation, and to my knowledge, we're all heterosexual males.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about like blood and scat.
Yeah, no, well, he said or him, but I
I mean,
didn't
it
know a him
depends
was on the
for
table
the
for one of us.
public audience.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, well, you're gonna have to discuss blood with him as well, and it's like, how are we getting the blood?
Right. It becomes a
What are we
thing, but
doing with
like
the blood?
looking at it from an outsider perspective, though, you very obviously are not the type of guy that would be looking for a relationship like that. There's that old saying, you seek what you find. You know what I mean? So if that's what you're into, naturally, just the way romance or whatever works to begin with in our DNA, you're going to find somebody that's like you enough to where once you're comfortable with them, you're going to fucking bring that up. And if
And
they're
then
not,
they're just gonna,
that is the
and
real
if
hard
they're
thing
not
for
cool with
people
it, what
into
do you
shit
do
like
with
that.
yourself after that? Do you
That's
just like what? Are you just gonna be in this relationship with someone who doesn't sexually satisfy you? That's
see,
rough.
and
Well, it's really easy for me to fucking say no to blood, bro. If someone
well,
brought blood up to me, fucking hell no.
well, then you say no, and the person's either gonna stay with you or not. It's kind of a case by case basis at
It's
that
just
point.
such a sad life for a blood fetish person to have, because it's going to be real hard to find someone who's into that, and you're going to go through a lot of trial and errors because you can't just open up with that. You never in a million years is it going to go smoothly for you if you open with that.
Well, no one's
No.
gonna
You can't
open
just
up
get,
with that, and I'm sure there's websites for it or like.
and you can't
But
knock that out from the get-go.
There's
You got to go through people and have them reject you time and time again until you hope that someone finally doesn't reject you.
I don't know, man. There's specific fetishes that are just like too obscure, too minuscule, too niche for the public eye to be like, yeah, that's a thing. Like there's this Japanese one called futanari, where it's basically chicks with dicks, hermaphrodites. How often have you ran into to a hermaphrodite? You wouldn't even know.
Do drag queens
Yeah, you
count?
wouldn't know.
No,
Okay,
they are
Is-
specifically
there you go.
female with a dick.
Aren't chicks with dicks more common in other countries too? Like as a
Are we allowed
sexual
to
thing?
just go? Are you allowed to just say chicks with dicks? Is
I
that the socially accepted word?
I don't know
No.
what the common vernacular is.
In internet speak, it would be futa.
Whoa.
Because Twitter is the thing.
Well, speaking about that now too, there's like a whole bunch like of derogatory terms for that saying, and I don't remember what was like the main one. I'm trying to think about it because like I don't know how, but especially with like fuck. How am I gonna explain this? I don't know if hermaphrodite is even a politically correct term now because
Yeah,
I don't
what
know.
is it?
I don't know. I like fucking.
It's frustrating.
It is.
Can we
It's a little
Google this?
frustrating because like you offend somebody with specific words, and then we don't know which is the correct term, and then once we do, it's like okay, cool, and then we gotta try to persuade people to say the correct term. And they're like, no, but they're this. So I was like, okay, well, yeah, they are, but you're gonna hurt someone's feelings, so you gotta say this, you know?
I
It's like-
understand. Go ahead, Ben.
It's like trying to get an edgy kid out of saying ableist language. It's a upward, it's an uphill battle because they
Yeah.
have to be willing to change their vernacular to be better. Sometimes people are like, that's just too much fucking work.
Yeah.
I understand where you guys are coming from. However, I think people act like it's a lot harder than it actually is. Like, for example, not to immediately bring this up, but things like racial slurs, like kike. That's the only one I'm allowed to say because I'm Jewish, and the N word and all these other words. Yeah, like people are smart enough not to. I learned from a very young age, don't say this, and I just didn't. You know what I mean? So when it comes to like these hot button issues like um pronouns and like faggot is another one. I don't know if I can even say that anymore, but like you can't say that anymore, and I'm sorry. But
We're definitely gonna dox you now, man.
I've been doxxed like 3 times on this podcast already. They're coming for me. But I think people have a lot more self-control than they let on, I guess is what I'm getting at.
But
So
Yeah.
language is also like the epitome of repetition. You don't really understand words until you use them. And when you're ignorant of a word, you tend to use it in a nonsensical way. Which is why, like, huge example. Everyone my age, especially like in middle school, used the N-word. Did not matter. No one cared because at our age of 12, 11, 12, 13, everyone's fine with it. But like, fast forward to now, like, especially on social media, where you can get like doxxed or checked or suspended if you aren't in the right. Like on Twitter, my account's been locked multiple times. Even though I am black, I've said the N-word and I've been locked. I've been suspended. And it's like,
Jesus.
come on. I've seen people use hard R, not get suspended. I use hard R, I get suspended. I'm like, that's bullshit.
That is bullshit.
It is.
That is, and like you said, dude, that is a thing. I think when you're younger, It's just you're told not to do something and you want to do it. And I think even then, the reason why everybody gets away with it is because there's no like malicious intent behind it. No one really knows the history or why we're not supposed to be saying something. At that age, like the N word is synonymous with fuck.
Mm-hmm. It's slang.
Yeah, at that age, you don't understand the system in general. You don't even
Mhm.
understand the system that was placed before the average man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So once you go into systemic racism from there, like it's just a completely different. You don't even get the fucking pebble before you're trying to understand the whole fucking landmass. Like it's just levels that you just don't understand.
And based on your upbringing, it'll either make you a better person or it'll make you a malicious person.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that there's a middle ground because, like, there are still levels to that maliciousness and that progressiveness. Like, just because you think you're doing good doesn't mean you are. Like, the quote unquote woke people, like, if you're too woke, you become more malicious than what you thought you'd be. Like, there are a lot of people I know that are like black and they very, very malicious. They're very gatekeepy. And it's like, come on, guys. It's not that serious. I swear, it's not that serious. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's hard to change and know you're doing right until you do wrong, especially in those situations. Like, everyone's like, oh, people can change. People can do better. But when people do wrong, there is no other option. You've done wrong. You're getting doxxed. You're getting out of the paint.
Right.
Yeah,
But
Randy, you're getting fucking doxxed.
it comes down to
What?
Don't worry
yeah,
about
what did Randy do?
Yeah, what the hell did I do?
Nothing. I just want to fucking throw it in there.
Nothing yet.
Yeah, we're preemptively getting you, Randy. We know you're up to no good, racist
Oh
bastard.
God. Yeah. Oh, to make what the rambling I did earlier make sense. At age 13, I didn't understand what an HR department was at all. I'd never heard of the fucking concept of a human resources department. Okay. Now, let alone the concept of understanding what a racist person in that position is able to do to a fucking large group of people.
Yeah. No, I heard in a stand-up, I think it was Russell Brand of all people. He said it's just different levels. He actually explained religion while we're just getting into all the fun topics. And one thing that made him a little more, I guess, faithful, if you want to call it, is that how can you explain something to someone that doesn't have the orifice to register it? Like, how are you going to explain smell to someone without a nose? How are you going to explain the internet to your cat? You know what I mean? So I think it falls in that category a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
The understanding is the precipice of enlightenment. Oh, I like using big words, so don't mind me.
Yeah, what's a precipice?
Like the ledge, like the or the
The
you're
turning
just
point.
about to do something in layman's terms.
Okay. Because I'm a simpleton after all.
Call back.
Yes.
I guess. Go ahead.
This is gonna be really shitty, boys, because literally I have to go use the bathroom, so I'll be back in less than 10 minutes, hopefully.
How dare you have biological needs, you organism?
How fucking dare
I
I
get
need to
it.
go take a shit during a podcast? It's like I prepared for this or fucking some bullshit.
Hey, that's very shitty.
I mean, I could take you with you, but I mean, that'd be fucking weird.
Yeah.
Ooh, we can understand the.
Do we get a
credit-
bowl cam?
take a
Otherwise, I'm not
shit.
interested.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna
Play
take you with.
exposed as a scat fetishist.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah, there's
Snapchat
another
real quick.
callback for you.
I'm about to
Oh,
zip
we're
down.
all just along for the ride, folks.
No, not.
We're all just along for the ride.
Every single fucking time. Why is his picture Shaq?
Yeah, I love it. It's never going away. I hope it never goes away anyway.
Since I'm on Twitter almost all the time, I tend to see a lot of the bullshit that goes on. Like someone will say something that sounds smart, and everyone's like, "Hey, you're fucking stupid." Like, someone was like, "What do you mean not remembering your childhood as a form of trauma?" And like that could be interpreted in many ways. Like you could take the common or the common way out and be like, "Duh." Or that were refuting it were like, how are you going to remember something from your childhood if you're fucking 30, 40, 50? And then I thought about it and I was like, well, they never specified what trauma. Like you can get in a really bad bike accident, skateboard accident, and the pain can be so intense you don't remember it or you block it out. People are instantly going to like sexual abuse, and it's like, hey, trauma is more than just, sexual abuse, guys.
That is a good fucking point. There's so many different forms. There's mental, physical. Yeah.
All I know is if I eat shit hard enough, I'm not gonna want to remember it either. And I remember someone saying, your upbringing basically is the blueprint of how you are now. But as an adult, you still have to make the conscious effort to be more. Like people tend to fall back on, their past mistakes or their past struggles as an excuse or a way to like levy the situation. And it's like, can't do that. We're grown. Like it's a reason, but it's not the excuse. You gotta be like, oh, I went through this. So because I went through this, I can't let it happen again.
There's this cycle of abuse that kind of occurs, I've noticed with parenting, where they do just kind of, each parent just does one notch a little better, and then over time they kind of lose track of the notches that were turned off before, so those problems kind of arise. But it's like there's a lot of parents out there who think that they did an outstanding job because they did a better job than their parent before them, even though the job that they did could have been completely atrocious. They're like, well, at least I was there.
Small victories.
Bill Burr had a bit about that, actually.
I said small victories.
Yeah,
baby steps. But Bill Burr, he had a bit on that where he said his family was very tough on him, and like he didn't let him do, I forget what it was. Oh yeah, his parents never hugged him because they were afraid that it was going to turn him gay.
What?
Yeah. And he's talking about, and he said the same thing you're saying about how with each generation it gets a little better. So, and he's a father now, but at the time he wasn't. And he goes, so when I have a kid, maybe it'll be like, don't do theater. Which is still a little sketchy even now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's wild. Like I don't know. I can't imagine being told you can't do theater. Like that's wild. Like being told that you can't do any elective in a class because it's not masculine. Like I can't imagine being told that. It's hard for. I didn't grow up in a homophobic house, so it's hard for me to fathom that.
Yeah, luckily for me, my upbringing was a little unconventional, but they weren't judgmental like that. I took theater in high school; it wasn't a big deal.
I'm fluid as fuck.
Yeah.
My parents would support me no matter what I did.
Dude, your parents are awesome. Fucking I went to a birthday party of his a couple of years ago, and I had been talking to them a couple of times throughout the whole night, and then at the very end, because we hadn't seen each other in a while, and then at the very end, all of a sudden they were like, "Oh, you're Clay? Oh, what the fuck? How's it been?" And all this. I thought they knew who I was the entire night. It was really funny.
No, they're all.
Instead,
I know.
you're being presented to them as a complete stranger.
Yeah, and I was talking to them with this like confidence and familiarity, like they knew who I was the whole night. And they're just like, "Wait a minute, you're Clay? What?" And I'm just like,
What
"Yeah."
a curse! What a curse that would be to put upon someone. Like, I'm gonna make sure that you are familiar to absolutely fucking nobody. Every single person that you meet for the rest of your life will always be a stranger to you, or they won't even always be a stranger to you, but they will always treat you as if you are a stranger to them.
That sounds actually terrifying.
Yeah, that's a movie right there. And then what happens is you end up getting people, those incredibly overly open people, but like from the get-go, where you're like, whoa, man, those are the only friends you're ever gonna have, are those people who are overly open from the beginning. That is your entire circle of friends.
Yeah.
Weird.
That's an interesting concept for sure.
Get that going. Why are we not funding this?
It sounds like I've
Yeah,
heard it before.
curse. Be a hell of a curse, man. It sounds like a nightmare. I don't know. I gotta bonds, man. I dig that shit. I don't know. It's one of the beauties of life, in my opinion. Bonds.
Bonds?
Oh
I
yeah,
like bonds
bonds
with
are
people.
fucking. Yeah, they're precious.
Relationships, like bonds with people.
Yeah.
A bond with my
Confidants.
dog. Yes.
Social.
Camaraderie.
I think that's definitely going on the list of fears, right up there with being like a prisoner in your own body, being completely comatose, but you're still conscious. You ever heard of that? Good
Yeah.
God. That's one of my
No, that-
biggest fears. Just lights are on, but you can't talk, you can't move. You're just like,
Ugh. You're hearing everything, seeing everything. And the worst part of
yeah,
about that is they don't even know how much you can hear and how much you can see. Say you're able to see and hear absolutely everything, and they think you're in a coma and you can't understand shit. And they treat you the entire time like you can't understand shit. And they never speak directly to you because they don't believe they can hear you. That would trip me the fuck out.
I've heard horror stories about those. People get sexually assaulted, family members opening up thinking they were dead.
yeah. People in comas and people in mental institutions.
That's
A lot of that.
horrendous.
People are fucked up.
Yeah. I hear about that with physically disabled people as well. Fucking abuse happening to them as well. That's terrible. Like it's sad to think about because you don't think about like, oh, every single person who's vulnerable is a victim, but it's really true, man. If there's a large group of vulnerable people, a couple of them are getting victimized, and that's so fucking sad.
Pre-80s loony houses, yeah, you're getting your head beat in with a nail because they think they're helping you. Or pre-50s loony houses where being gay was a mental illness. Bro.
No, I mean like not because of the medicine, but I forgot where I was going with that.
Well, I brought that up because like one of my fears is like being in a loony house, like because I know for a fact I'm not normal. I'm not unhinged, but I'm not normal. And to be put in an area where leaving is considered like an offense. You can't leave. The people you're talking to don't really get to know you. They don't really like you. The people who are taking care of you are like apathetic towards you. Sometimes they don't care, you know. Being put in an area where basically you are your only friend, it's terrifying.
It is.
Like, mental houses do not help. Like, they can, like, anything can help. But, like, overall, it probably can make their situation so much worse. You go from being a little bit paranoid because your mental illness to being completely fucking out of it because you don't
I'll be
trust
right back,
anybody
guys.
around you. And then there were two.
But no, what you were saying makes complete and total sense. You see that a lot when you're in a lot of mentally ill people. What they need is support and structure and that type of thing. Like just being sent in the loony bin where you're stuck with all these people and getting prodded and pried by these people that don't really give a shit about you, especially when they're less than professional or, you know, God forbid, abusing and that kind of thing. Yeah, it could I could see it exacerbating the issue for most patients, you know?
It's hard. Like, mental illness is a constant battle. Like, just because you have a small victory doesn't mean you overcame it. Like, I was explaining to my mom because it took her a while to get it. It took me and my girlfriend to like start getting her to understand like everything you say, do, feel, and think is controlled by your brain. Why wouldn't you think that it needs to be taken care of? Like, what do you think happens when the brain is sick? The brain is not up to par. The brain is suboptimal. And she thought, and she was like, "Oh," yeah. I was like, "Yeah, like bipolarism." Like, she thought it was fake at first, but she thought like post-traumatic stress in certain situations is unreal. Like, she said she didn't feel sympathy towards like sexual abuse victims, and I'm like, that's kind of heartless. Why would you say that? She was like, "Oh, when I was with your brother's dad, her first boyfriend, when she was younger, they had a rough patch, and instead of working it out, he got really abusive, and I guess she or he sexually assaulted him." And I was like, "That's terrible." She was like, "Yeah, I know, but I got my revenge immediately after." I was like, "Mom, you're fucking deranged."
Like
Most
she's got
people,
that old eye for an eye mentality.
yeah, like she was literally raped, but like she was like, the only thing I could think of was it's like taking your brother and leaving. Like, it did not matter. I was like, "Mom, most people can't even fathom doing that.
Yeah.
Most people would probably curl up in a ball just thinking about it." She's like, "Nope, not me." Made sure he paid for it too.
What's up, Dakota?
Gotta love that eye for eye true crime stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck.
That's insane. Eye for an eye crime, like mentality and self-destructing. It's like crabs in a bucket.
Yeah, that fight fire with fire, everyone gets burned.
But I love crabs. Actually, I don't. I don't like crabs at all. I don't know why I lied to you guys. I'm sorry.
I like crabs. A little bit of
Crabs aren't
butter.
too bad.
Yeah.
I like when I got crabs on my body.
But we talked about this in one of the previous episodes. It's crazy how many different varieties of people there are. I just if you've ever looked at the Bechdel test or anything like that, we think we're all the same, which we are physically, but there's like I forgot what it is, like 12 different personalities that you could fall under. And your brain can be wired in just all these different ways. Like you were saying, like that's how your mom would handle a situation, but that isn't the most common way somebody would handle that situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just wild.
the brain is an endless macrocosm of thought. Like, that thing is hard to figure out, and like every person's different, so it's endless possibilities. It's like the fact that there are infinite number of decimals between 1 and 2. You can't count them all.
Yeah.
When you talk about the personality thing, are you talking about what the fuck is it called? I don't remember the specific term for it, but it's like the INFP, INFJ, that shit.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's the Bechdel
Yeah.
test, I'm pretty sure, unless I'm just retarded. But yeah, the ENTJ and yeah.
I forgot which one I was.
Yeah, me too. I did. It was a long time ago.
I think I'm an ENFJ. No, ENFP. Wait, ENFTP, ENTP. I don't know. I know I'm EN and then something else.
Yeah, me too. Here's some homework for you guys. Take the fucking Bechdel test or whatever it's called if I'm getting that wrong, and we'll come back with our results on the next one.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Here, I'll be right back, guys.
All right.
Randy, are you smoking a Black and Mild?
Yeah.
Down bad. Jesus Christ.
Why? What's wrong?
Hey, the Black and Milds are a physical representation of mental anguish.
Oh, he's calling you out.
Damn, you got me.
Personal experience. Just saying.
Fucking calling you out, man.
You see someone smoking a Black and Mild,
I
you
didn't-
ask if they're okay.
I didn't buy a ticket for this Fields train, man.
What's your opinion on addiction since we're on Black and Milds?
My opinion on what?
Addiction.
I don't.
Depends
clearly
on the
got it.
addiction.
Oh, you said
Well,
depression or addiction?
Addiction.
Addiction. Yeah, totally got it. That smoking
How
goes
long-
too cheap because I need a nicotine fix.
How long have you been smoking?
Since last time I saw you.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Wow.
man, that was like sophomore year.
Yeah, sophomore year, for real. Jesus.
Yeah, man. It's shitty, but
I'm sure you stop. I mean, I picked up smoking 5 years ago and it never stuck.
yeah.
I picked up smoking when I was 20 and I'm still doing it because yeah.
No, shit never stuck. Like I smoked weed and it got to the point where I'm like, damn, I don't got money to buy weed. I guess I'm not smoking no more. And I really haven't smoked since.
Did somebody
It's
say
like-
smoke?
Just like.
Oh, since you're back. Black.
Sorry, I got my neighbor was outside and I got stage fright. I'll go deeper into this addiction conversation now.
Yeah. What's your opinion on addiction, Clay?
I have never dealt with addiction once in my entire life.
That's not true.
And I don't understand how people aren't able to just fucking say no and how people could be so tethered to something. Like, how could you really need to do something every 30 seconds that fucking badly? Like, you don't know you're killing yourself?
Hey, addiction doesn't start with smoking.
Damn, bro.
But yeah, addiction isn't real, dude. Fuck that. No, addiction is very real. You could get. I have that urge to just hit this thing. It's like a social thing. I treat it like a cigarette. You'll be sitting there talking to somebody, like, God, that hit really fucked me up. Like imagine that setting, like James Bond with a martini in one hand, a cigarette in between the two fingers, and it's just like. It's like a social lubricant in a way. And with this, for example, I did it because it just landed in my lap. I moved back to my hometown and a buddy gave me one, and it just tasted good. I had no idea I'd get like 6 years deep and not be able to stop. It's just, you don't really find addiction, it finds you. It just kind of spirals.
Yeah,
True
my
facts.
because I remember in high school, you and I were drinking Mountain Dew like we were fucking crackheads.
Yeah, we were. Dude, I went through a 12 pack in one day once back in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I had the house to myself every weekend, and my mom would give me $20. And of course, I'd spend half of it on fucking Mountain Dew and just be sitting there on Mortal Kombat or whatever with the boys. Just it got so bad. One day I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and reached over, cracked one open, took a sip, and just went back to bed.
Oh man, and like withdrawal symptoms, like James used to like drink Dr. Pepper every day. It didn't. He had to have a Dr. Pepper. If he couldn't have a Dr. Pepper, he had to have a Mr. Pibb. Couldn't have a Mr. Pibb, had to have a Dr. Thunder. And I was like, Jesus. And if he didn't have one during the day, he would have terrible migraines and make him sleep all day. That was the only way he could fuck off a migraine is by sleeping.
See, I'm the same way, man. I've cut down a lot. I've had a huge soda problem since I was like 7. And I used to clear like a 2 liter a day, and now I go to the 7-Eleven down the street and I get one large every day. But I gotta
Progress.
have that or I'll get but I gotta have that or I'll go fucking mad.
My addiction is food. Like,
Oh
I
yeah?
remember
Food addiction.
when I finally started living by myself, I would have a pack of Oreos, golden Oreos, once a week. Eat the whole thing within a day or two. I
Damn.
would I would limit myself to once a week because I knew if I didn't have any fucking restraint, I would have a pack every 3 days.
See, everybody's got their vices. I don't eat sweets very often. I get random like binges of it. So I could do the same thing. I could probably kill I buy Oreos like once every few months, but then I'll kill the whole fucking pack in like a day or two. But then I won't. I just don't buy them very often because I'm already spending enough money on everything else.
Right. Okay.
What were you gonna say, Dakota?
I have a huge energy drink addiction, so I totally get that. Definitely Monsters and Red Bulls get me.
Yeah.
Hey, Monsters are basically soda at this point, and then Red Bulls are still pretty good. But
Made
as
true
long as
fact.
depending on, just don't drink Bang. Like for the love of Christ, do not drink Bang.
I've never had one.
They are loaded with so much caffeine that your heart could probably explode if you have more than one a day.
Jesus fuck. Dude, I used to have a pretty bad monster addiction. I had 3 of those big cans with the cap once in one day. And I had a pain in my chest that was like throbbing. I was like, please don't die. I won't do it again, I swear. It was so bad. But I had a big monster. Dude, most of the time when Ben and I would hang out in high school, we would just hit the grocery store, get a whole bunch of like donuts and Monster and soda, and just go to the fucking park and pig out. It was great. I like lost
One
my
of my
audio.
old coworkers, he when we were on our break, he would get that tall can you were talking about and put 2 5-hour energies in it, throw it in there, mix
Fuck.
that shit up, and he would be fucking cracked out the rest of the shift.
What the fuck?
No
We
can
And he
do.
Yeah, we were
and he
talking about
wasn't like
Monster.
and he wasn't like heavy set. He was skinny like you, except he was like 6'4". So it hit almost immediately.
That's the other thing too is I'm small and skinny, so when I drink a Monster, I start feeling it like 3 sips in. Same with coffee, or because it just fucking goes straight through.
Yeah, coffee definitely has that effect on me.
Yeah, I could
Man,
drink.
I love coffee though.
I love coffee too. I could drink a 12-pack of soda in one day, but I drink one coffee and I'm sitting there like, it's so weird.
We're playing musical chairs.
Yeah, we lost half our cast. What the fuck?
We did.
If I don't have coffee, I get really pissy.
Pissy's not funny. You act like a geek.
He mutes it. He's
Got a
like,
cameo.
he cut her off. He said no.
Like, damn it, this is my podcast. You're not gonna sit here and make me look bad. The fuck? We're recording. What the hell?
It's like a company cutting off a representative from speaking anymore when they're making them look bad.
That's what I thought too. I was like, okay, no further questions. We're gonna go back to the hotel.
Cut the mic.
Man. But yeah, no, I'm like that with weed.
Wad.
Surprisingly, I'm not.
I gotta smoke or at least have soda. I need one of my vices at least, or I'm gonna be pretty hard to deal with.
Mm.
Of all of them that I need, if I was to isolate one, nicotine would be the one that I need out of all of them.
Same. If I had to give up everything else, it'd probably be the nicotine because it's just so gripping.
Yeah.
It's not
Gripping.
Yeah, it's not even the thing I get the most enjoyment out of, but it's the thing I know I'm the most addicted to.
Yep.
It's fucked up.
Everything's all kinds of fucked.
Yeah, I haven't experienced adult life without nicotine at all.
It's
I don't
not.
think so.
You're not missing much.
It's like I have to actually figure out what to do every 15 minutes
sense.
instead of just bail.
Ben just made me feel super more comfortable with my nicotine addiction.
Yeah.
Enabler.
Well, were you really gonna stop, Randy?
No. No. I tried. I still continue to try. I figure if you keep trying, eventually it'll stick, right? You can't quit without trying. So I keep trying. It don't work out too well. So far I've nailed it down to I don't smoke cigarettes full time, which I did the
Well, that's
majority of
good.
the time. Yeah, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I smoke black and mild.
It's the worst.
Yeah, but it's not as bad on the finances.
Yeah. That's the one good thing about vaping is that, cigarettes are like $8 a pack out here now, but the juice I get for this stuff is $10 a bottle, and it lasts me like a week and a half.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
So this is a very easy thing to be addicted to if you don't mind the douchebag stigma.
Yeah. Is it like good juice?
So the juice I'm getting right now is actually $5 a bottle. I didn't want to give some unrealistic number out on the podcast, but the store I've been going to, he got like a shit ton of these grape flavored juices at this really good price. So he's been selling them for $5 a bottle, and this is, if you know anything about vape, 60 mil. It's about this big.
Yeah,
And that-
big
and that-
boys.
Not to plug them, but yeah, it's about this big. And yeah, that'll last you. And keep in mind how much you've seen me vape throughout this podcast. I vape way more than the average person, and the shit lasts me a week and a half.
My question got answered. It is good juice.
Yeah, but for the most part, out here you're
Sponge
looking at like 10 to 15 for that bottle.
What was that, Ben?
Sponge Lung's about to take your ass out.
Hey,
Sponge lungs?
if it's not a myth, I still think it's better than cigarettes. Just for one very, whenever my vape breaks and I don't have the money to immediately replace it, or I'm too lazy, it breaks during the middle of the day, I'll immediately fall off the wagon and go get a pack of cigarettes. And I'll smoke those cigarettes, and within a day or two, I'll feel really rough in the throat, and I'll have like pains in my chest, and I'll have like less stamina.
Pussy.
Yeah, I can't smoke like a man. But when I vape this shit, other than it messing up my voice a little bit, if I'm like trying to sing or whatever, that's the only problem I have. I never have like breathing issues or anything.
Mm.
You a singer?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't mean to brag, but I like to sing in the shower once in a while.
I gotta. Yeah, I've been known to spit a bar or two in the shower, of course.
Yo, suck a dick.
In the shower.
Everybody sounds good in the
Envious.
shower, though.
I'm envious of all artists simply because they have the will and the drive to push forward. You know how many times I've tried to fucking pick up drawing just because I like Japanese manga and comics so fucking much?
Mm-hmm.
You know how many times I've actually made something? Ain't made shit yet.
Shit. You learned guitar, though, didn't you?
Sure did. I got really good at it.
That's sick. I've never heard you play to this day.
That's crazy. Because that was right, because you moved when I was actually like in it.
Mm-hmm. And then we talked about doing a few songs together, and just nothing ever happened.
Much like most of the things we planned.
Pretty much, dude. Shit just gets fucking out of hand. I think that's why I like this podcast so much. It's an easy way for us to just connect and hang out, especially during quarantine. It's not even that weird these days, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've went from when I started hear someone with the. I've said it from the beginning. It's all a selfish ploy to get people to sit down and hang out with me for a couple of hours and bullshit.
Exactly. Like, we may not be the most. What's that?
You know the fucking Vine or whatever that's like two dudes in a hot tube 5 feet apart because they're not gay. Yeah, it'd be like, so there's 4 dudes 200 plus miles away and they're not gay. Podcast.
Yeah,
but Clay and Ben aren't 200 miles away.
Well,
no, we're pretty close. We just live 2 entirely separate lives at this point.
Yeah. It's like that in the city. Y'all aren't all conjoined.
y'all.
Yeah, the big city life, it's easy to it's not very what's the word? Neighborly.
Y'all ain't gonna.
You could
Sorry.
live 20 it's all good. You could live like 10 miles away from somebody and have no idea. You could move, or that's what I'm trying to say. You could move 20 miles away and start a new life in this town.
Yeah.
Y'all don't want to conform, do you?
It wasn't a southern y'all. It was more of a yaw. Yeah.
You're the only southern one out of us. There,
You said
Dakota.
You said no, I am not southern at all. I strictly make it clear over here that I'm from the West Coast, and that's it to everybody. Like, yeah, I was born and raised in South Carolina. Like, wow, I'm from the West Coast. This place sucks.
What is South Carolina?
Just off top, this place blows.
By the way,
at least you're honest about it. Like, you know, it's not like you're in Florida and you're like, I don't get why people talk so much shit.
You're just going around to places going, you know, this place here, this place that built you, this place that, like, you know, your family like built its like legacy upon, and the place that you're probably gonna die, and, you know, your dog is buried over there in that hill, and, you know, and this place that is like part of your identity fucking blows so much.
Fucking nerds, this place sucks. Get out of here.
I was one of those people that talked shit about Vegas for a while. A lot of people that live in Vegas talk shit about it, like, oh, I need to get the fuck out of here and it sucks and this and that. But it's a big city, so granted there's going to be negatives, but a lot of people don't focus on the positives, like the fact that you can get pretty much anything in Vegas at any time. There's this constant thriving social scene in this thriving entertainment district that you can, there's always something to do to some degree, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then,
Houses are relatively cheap too for a growing city.
yeah, the thing is, we are slowly turning into California. Like, we used to be known as the one big city that had free parking, and now everybody from California is moving over here, and we don't have free parking anymore on, like on the strip and shit. And rent is going up because of that. A lot of California fuckers are moving over here.
As
No,
as
it's
an
that fucking
outsider,
stadium.
What's that?
Just that.
as an outsider, someone who lived in Vegas for a very short period of time, and I totally know what you're talking about with Pete. You're not the only one who I know who used to talk a lot of shit about Vegas. Like, I feel like it's common in most places where people live, where people trash on the place where they live. But I remember particularly in Vegas, I feel like there's definitely people who would just shit on the fact that they live in Vegas. And I think that there was a morale change, and I don't really know what the connection is. I really couldn't tell you, but there was a morale change after the country festival shooting and the Golden Knights becoming a part of Vegas. I think after those couple of events, did I see a lot more people start taking pride in the city of Vegas.
And then we got the second stadium, the fucking Allegiant Stadium,
The Death
which
Star.
is definitely the source of the rent increase.
Oh, hell yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's it.
And what's really crazy about that is that gets put up and no one even gets to go. They have just private football games with nobody there.
Mm.
They're also building a new entertainment center, like specifically for concerts, and it's going to be next to the Sands. And with underground dirty money fueling the economy, making all these buildings and structures with no real payoff because of COVID, we're fucking tunneling towards self-destruction. It's like, shit.
Yeah. Well, this city, dude, it's like an ecosystem. It's always going to keep expanding. Like, we got that. Have you seen Resort World? Have you been driving by the strip and seen Resort World with that big ass fucking TV just going all the way down the side of it?
Mm-hmm.
That building is like insane. It's crazy to look at something like that and see like the technological ingenuity that we get to see in our time. And on top of that, we got this Atari themed hotel coming here soon. This like huge video game.
What?
Yeah, dude, look it up. It looks really cool. It's this big like video game centric hotel resort experience shit. We've got
Huh.
Taco Bell Cantina, where you can get married in a fucking Taco Bell and drink Baja Blast with tequila in it in the only place in the country.
You saying I can get married in a Taco Bell?
Yes, sir. If you find a lady
Dude.
that'll go through with it with you.
Well, he already
Yeah, I
has
got
a
the
lady who
lady.
want to
Yeah.
go through.
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah, definitely.
Hey.
And here's what I'm just trying to make sure. This is crucial. Do they choose the minister?
No. I don't think
I can choose my own minister and
I
get
don't
married
think
at
any
Taco Bell.
chapel. Yeah, I don't think they would even provide a minister.
Ooh, that's preferred.
Dude,
I got the minister.
if you decide to come out to Vegas and have a Taco Bell wedding, I will be your fucking wedding planner. You trust me with that shit, dude. I will create man, that'll be a party.
I trust you with that shit because I don't give a shit. My lady does not trust you with that shit.
Yeah. It's understandable.
Do you think she would trust me?
No.
But I would get the mariachi band.
She wouldn't trust anyone that wasn't herself. And then again, she's gonna second guess herself a million times throughout it all as well. So she ain't gonna trust none of y'all. We are chimps compared to her idea and vision of a wedding.
See, just thinking about it now, I think I would be a pretty decent wedding planner. But as far as weddings go, a Taco Bell wedding is right up my alley. That's my forte. So if you're gonna have a Taco Bell wedding, I'm your fucking guy.
I mean, I feel like it's an easy set of shoes to fill, though, because what's the expectation for a Taco Bell wedding?
Throw me under the bus, man. I'm just trying to play up my Taco Bell obsession here.
Yeah, well, I'm giving you an opportunity to prove me wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is expected at a Taco Bell wedding, and what are you going to provide to this?
So if you guys were gonna plan a Taco Bell wedding, or any wedding for that matter, and you came to me as your wedding planner, I would be very communicative with both of you throughout the whole process. And I would say, all right, what are we doing here? Band or DJ? Or d'oeuvres? Are we going big or small? Are we inviting, just family? Or are we going for a big ceremony here? Yeah, just through intuition, I feel like I would do better than the average person getting thrust into something like that.
This Taco Bell wedding is meaningless if we don't have either a blast fountain or a sangria fountain.
Oh,
All meaningless.
Some Doritos, the Locos, and maybe some chalupas, you know what I'm saying? And then maybe like the catering table could be just like burritos, like stacked up to a pyramid, boys. You know what I'm talking about, boys?
So
out of season, bring the Beefy Crunch burrito back. Out of season, bring it back just for this event.
Now, see, I'm not George Clooney. I can't go that far. Dude, if I had the power to happen, if I had the power to bring the Beefy Crunch burrito back, that shit would be back by now.
I'm so mad there's no more quesadillas. I feel fucking cheated.
They took the quesarito out?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Here's what I can say. If George Clooney's the goal, I can work with that. If George Clooney can make it happen.
Okay, if we're still on the fucking Taco Bell wedding thing, they handle catering, so I don't know how that... I think... What I imagine is they probably have this like big nacho trough and like probably like a, like Dakota was saying, like a pyramid of tacos or some shit.
Burritos.
Either one. I'm more of a burrito guy myself, or soft taco. But
oh man,
dude, that would be so sick though. Could you imagine like open bar but with Taco Bell food?
That would be dank.
That would be sick. And like Ben said, dude, to bookend this, we would have to make that Baja Fountain a reality. That is a must.
We plan to do Cafe Rio for our catering.
Oh yeah?
Cafe Rio is good.
They're really fucking good too. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan.
All right, guys, I have to go. I have been given an SOS signal.
All right, my friend.
All right, dude. Thanks for coming.
We really,
of course.
Yeah, we really appreciate having you on, man.
Whenever you guys need me again, I'll be here. You guys have a good one.
Thanks,
dude.
You
will,
too.
Ben. Take care.
And it's the Trio Amigos.
Hi.
Hey-o.
Part 2.
Welcome to part 2 of episode 5, where our guest Benj out. No, I'm kidding. It's like episode 5.5, the missing link.
Yeah. This is episode 5, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is episode 5.
Yes, it is.
Cinco.
We're speaking about all this Spanish food, and now we have to talk Spanish, apparently.
Yeah, Cafe Rio. The food's dank. Not a sponsor.
Okay, so if you're going to get fucking Cafe Rio, I hope I'm invited to the wedding, by the way. Co-host of the podcast. But,
we're in the wedding ceremony, but the wedding reception, everyone's welcome to come to, and that's where the catering will be.
Cool.
The wedding reception. I don't want to do a huge wedding. Getting up in front of that many people to try an intimate moment with your wife sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah.
That's understandable. Um, but if you're gonna get catering from Cafe Rio, make sure you get plenty of their house dressing. That shit is so good, and they don't even tell you about it. It's so weird.
It's a
Huh.
secret to everybody, man.
I ain't know shit about their house dressing. What's it
Ex-
taste like? Is it
okay,
what's up with this?
a buddy of mine brought me to Cafe Rio a few years ago, and yeah, he showed me the house dressing. You got to ask for it separately, and they charge you like 50 cents for it or something, but it is so fucking good. So every time I go to Cafe Rio, I get the quesadilla with barbacoa,
Mm-hmm.
and you dip it into that house dressing. Think of it as like their version of cane sauce. Imagine going to Cane's and not getting the cane sauce. It's
Yikes.
yeah, it's really sweet and
I'm all
I'm trying.
saying yikes like I've been to Cane's.
You've
Like
never
I've
you've
never
never
been
been
to
to
Cane's,
Cane's?
bro. Never
Oh,
been to Cane's.
okay. Well, it's really good. I'm trying not to talk it up or whatever and give it the wrong description, but it's like sweet. It's kind of like ranch with other kind of flavors to it, but it's really really good, and they don't even tell you about it.
Ranch.
I'm not a fan of ranch though.
It's not. It doesn't taste like ranch. It's got just like ranch properties. You know, like the physical properties of it are kind of ranchy,
Ranch properties.
but it's
Uh,
more. It's
are you
more
What
talking
are
about-
sweet.
other things that have the physical properties of ranch?
Yeah. Now, see, this is what I'm saying. Is like I can't really talk it up in a manner that's going to. I can't exactly do it justice because it's good, but the description of it isn't as good as it actually is. Like I would have to take you to fucking Cafe Rio and jam it down your throat because I swear to God it's good.
Take it out of context. I'll have to take you to Cafe Rio and jam it down you.
I went from me insinuating talking about shoving these substances down throats to you just straight into shoving these substances down throats.
Well, I'll shove food directly down your fucking throat because I'll get elbow deep when it comes to food. I don't give a shit.
If food is a fucking God damn it, I can't even think of the word now. Never mind. Fuck it. It's over, man. It's all game over, dude. I'm out of the podcast. I can't be funny anymore.
You're fired.
Fucking God, I'm gone. That's it.
What's your
See you later, YouTube.
What is your favorite food, Dakota?
What's my favorite food? Fucking
Mhm.
Chinese or sushi. I was smashed on fucking sushi and Chinese food, man.
That's interesting. 'Cause
Yeah.
I love both of those things, but I wouldn't call them favorites necessarily.
Are you quote unquote racist? No, I'm kidding.
My bad. How's Ben texted me? Why am I racist this time? Why are we always trying to frame the blonde-haired, blue-eyed
Because you don't
white guy as a racist?
Because Chinese and
because
sushi
you don't
is
like
not-
the food of a specific culture, duh.
Yeah.
Okay, as far as that goes, I love Chinese food, and I actually really love Filipino food. If you haven't,
I've had Filipino food, yeah. Jollibee and actually homemade food, like adobo and stuff like that.
hell yeah, my mom married Filipino as a kid, so I had a lot of that shit growing up. Adobo, lumpia. There's this soup called sinigang. That's really
Mhm.
good. Ariscaldo. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. So yeah, no, I am.
Your
When it
food
comes to
palate is
food,
quite large.
yeah, when it comes to food, I've had escargot before. When it comes to food, I am not picky at all. But weirdly enough, when it comes to favorites, I default back to cheeseburgers and bean and cheese burritos.
And the best part, that's not the only thing big about them, ladies.
But a cheeseburger, dude, I could do supersize me. We mentioned that in the last podcast we did. I don't think we put that one out, but yeah,
The unaired one that
yeah,
we did.
yeah. But
The one
and
we shall not speak of forever.
yeah, but at this age, dude, a good cheeseburger, man, I could eat a cheeseburger twice a day and be fine.
Yeah, a fast food cheeseburger, man. Like it's got to be. I'm talking a Jack in the Box. I'm talking a Carl's, a McDonald's. Those cheeseburgers, my fucking kryptonite, man.
Hell yeah, me too. No, McDonald's, Jack in the Box is pretty good. Um, but even real ones, even these like little mom and pop shops that make the cheeseburgers and even freezer cheeseburgers, there's just something about it. So good.
Freezer burger.
Dakota remembers how many times we would leave in the middle of the night to go to fucking Williams just to get freaking fast food.
Some good times, man.
Oh yeah. Did you do you have White Castle out there, Dakota?
No idea. I know there's just what are the fucking typical ass brands? We got like Little Caesars, Pizza Hut, Zaxby's, KFC, Taco Bell, Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, Arby's, Carlos Jr. or Hardee's, whatever the fuck it's called over here. I don't know. There's just like a lot. I haven't seen a White Castle and a couple other places too. Well, there's some bomb ass Japanese restaurants and ramen shops and places like that here. Fucking awesome. I'd take those over fast food any day if I could.
That's
I
sick.
want to go to a ramen shop. I've never been to a place that specialized in ramen before. That sounds
Bro,
really exciting.
I could. Do you like spicy shit or do you like just like okay
I don't like
noodles?
spicy.
I would recommend udon noodles.
Hell yeah.
The dog definitely loved that. Like,
Dog fucking hates spicy shit.
No, it was just like I could recommend udon. It's like, yeah, man, yeah, I love udon.
Udon is really good. It's like ramen but thicker.
Yeah, there's really thick noodles, and then you actually get a little piece of well, it's udon, but it's like a little thing that looks like it's a weird bumped up like star, and then there's like a little swirl in it. Like if you've seen fucking Naruto, there you go. You ever seen that?
Oh.
Yeah, this fucking ramen shop stuff. I would highly recommend udon, even though the noodles are really fucking thick, man. It's still good.
No, I like thick noodles.
I bet you do.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
I'm a fan of getting that sickness in me.
It's really good.
Real talk. I fuck with pasta heavy.
Me too.
Heavy pasta. Creepy pastas, bro. We should talk about that in one episode.
I know nothing of those.
What, you don't know creepy pastas?
I know what they are, but I don't like know any.
It's
that's
horrific
why we can,
literature.
yeah, we can like look up one and then just like talk about it.
Oh, okay, I'm down with that.
Be interesting, or like have one of us read off an excerpt. Be like, "Hey guys, I found this creepy pasta that will scare us all."
I mean, I don't want episode 5 to just be a bunch of brainstorming of future episodes, but I think we should start pulling shit off of Reddit to talk about too.
Oh, fuck Reddit.
Yeah, fuck Reddit.
Yeah, now we're gonna have a whole bunch of Reddit commenters and be like, "Hey man, Reddit's fucking cool. Man, I don't know what your problem is, Dakota."
Man, fuck Reddit.
Do you really have beef with Reddit? What's up?
Oh no, I have like no fascination with like Reddit. Like I think I've been on total of my life of 27 years. I think I've been on Reddit 5 times.
I hear there's a lot of interesting questions asked on there and a lot of interesting answers, in my opinion. But I mean, different strokes for different folks.
Mm-hmm. I love when people talk about strokes with. Never mind. Oh, I learned something today too about online shit for gaming. I don't know if you boys want to hear about it or not.
What's
Yeah,
up?
let's do it.
So on the last episode, remember how we were talking about Twitch and stuff, and then like we were thinking about how to not get demonetized and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I brought up the COPA thing, and I also brought up the DMCA claims that are going on Twitch. So I watched a new video, and it just came out today. I'll probably link it to you guys after this, just to show you. But there's a guy on YouTube, and he streams on Twitch. His name's Osmond Gold. He's a World of Warcraft player and streamer. And basically, he went through a new thing that Twitch just did, and I don't know, before like claims and all this shit started to get like super heavy now, from 2019 to now. If you were playing a game like brand new, you just opened it, people called it a blind run or a blind playthrough because you don't know anything about it, right? Like you've heard that term, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now apparently there's a thing where you cannot use blind playthrough or a blind run of a game now. Because
What, like in the description or title, or what?
Yes, in the description or the title.
What, because of clickbait?
No, because it's offensive.
It's offensive to the blind.
It's a discriminating term apparently.
To the blind?
For I guess so. I mean, that's what
I'm gonna keep saying it over and over again because there's no. I am totally down for the removal of so many fucking words on this planet from people's vocabulary. All right, definitely, 100%, totally for it. Blind? Blind. That's if you blind, you blind, bro.
You
I
blind.
don't know what the fuck you.
There's your
There's
episode
something
title.
that you are not seeing. For some people, it's fucking everything. You're blind, bro. You gonna tell me I can't say blind?
Like, well, no.
The different,
It's
the,
like it's
never mind.
because of putting it in the term and like the title and the description. Apparently, it's offensive and stuff, and it comes out rude to people for some god unknown reason why. Like, I get it. It's because it's blind, you know. And blind people can't see. When you play a game blind, you've never played it before. That's the connection. But however, I don't know how it's offensive to blind people
Yeah.
when they're blind.
And they ain't gonna fucking read it anyway.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, cool. So I can't say, oh man, I can't say this is a blind playthrough anymore. I have to say this is my first time playing the game, okay? Like, first time
Ridiculous.
playthrough. That doesn't even sound awesome. That doesn't sound fun as a YouTube video because you're just like, first time playthrough. You have to look that up now instead of blind playthrough. Like, I want to know some dumbass name, fucking Hector Magoo, is doing a blind playthrough of Eat My Ass 5 instead of his first time.
Yeah, that was a hooky, descriptive title, and it's like Randy said, it may have been a joke, but it's so fucking true. Who's gonna get offended by it? Who's gonna see it that can get offended by it?
Wow, Twitch got hella offended.
There's also there's a complete overhaul of their I don't remember exactly what it was, but it had to do with their hateful conduct was updated recently and other stuff like that. This just they said we added cast CASTE cast. The definition of that does not make any sense to me. It's very confusing when I looked up what that word meant, and it has to do with levels of Hinduism. So what I gathered from it is you're not allowed to shame people for the amount of religious that you are, rather than trying to attack people for fighting the religion that they are. You're not allowed to fight and say that they are not the right amount of their religion.
Cool.
it's Dude,
that's what
it's
we
so
fucking care about.
It's so fucking hairy, man, and there's all these little fucking gray areas, and all these companies are just trying to save face. You know?
They added that. You know what I mean? Like it.
Yeah.
I could have totally butchered the meaning of fucking all of it, bro. But I can't even comprehend what it is. And you're gonna tell me that you're not allowed to partake in it because it's gonna offend someone? Like what?
Right.
How many people are getting offended by this? And these people, I'm clearly a fly to these motherfuckers because I don't even know what the fucking word means.
Right. Well, that's the thing. It's these companies. They have their HR departments, and they're just trying to save face. And with a lot of it, it's even preemptive. Like they're just trying to make sure that no problems arise in the future because of fucking this language that's constantly evolving. And like mentally retarded was the actual medical term for something one year, and now it's differently abled. You can't, like, retarded is a slur. This stuff is always changing, and it's so easy to get worked up over, but these companies, they're just trying to maximize profit.
Yeah.
But it's some shit. But if you've noticed in the grand scheme of things, the way people act, the common person in public, it's about the same. Maybe a little bit better, but the world outside doesn't change. I feel like the world on the internet is a whole lot different than the world as you experience it day to day,
Yeah. It's public media. For some reason, media is held to a higher standard than casual discourse.
Right. But with social media, everyone's kind of putting on their own private show. Like if you could, like Bo Burnham said it best, if you could sit back at the end of the day and watch the way your day went as like a little movie, that's kind of the way most people function these days. And I think it comes down to how people are willing to present themselves. And that is part of it. Like everybody's fake on the internet. Even now, like obviously, if we weren't recording right now, I'd probably be sitting like this.
Yeah, I'd be like this.
Yeah, obviously that's a different extreme, but you're putting. It's very careful and calculated, the version of yourself you put out there on the internet or put out like on a first date or something like that. So it's easy to get, I can see where a lot of people get upset looking at Instagram posts and seeing these like glorified, because you're only seeing the best moments.
Only the best for the best.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing about this podcast too, is it's long and it's raw.
Yeah.
You're not catching our best moments on this podcast. You're catching all our moments on this podcast.
Yeah, especially when we go use the bathroom.
Hey, we're getting that bowl cam in place for future episodes. I'll send it out to you guys. We'll get it installed.
Yeah, everyone wants to watch that on their corner of their fucking phone screen, is seeing someone take a dump,
seeing it come right out. See, like this. This is nice and raw. Ben laughed at it earlier. I should have fucking get him back in here. God damn it! But
big old Ben.
But yeah, it's just us getting in here and fucking talking, and I think that's one of my favorite things about these conversations is that we're not afraid to disagree with each other and like really break down what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Challenge each other.
Yeah.
Well, it's on that note, this has been episode 5 of Ramon Little.
Really? Or
No. I was just
Oh.
making a joke because you were just saying shh.
Yeah.
Like, just stop talking. And I was just like, okay, well, if we're not talking, show's over.
Yeah.
Show's over, boys. We're gonna get something new. the X dopes. X dopes.
X dopes.
X dopes, give it to you.
X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you. X gonna give it to you.
Well, I think this was a good episode, guys.
I did too. Yeah, I think it's once we're singing DMX for fucking no fucking reason, that's a good time to call it.
No, don't take that as an insult, DMX. But
Yeah.
love your music, dog. Please sponsor us. Love you.
Hopefully we don't get demonetized just for that. But
It's not dancing in the workplace, but it's dancing in your homes. We're fucking done. It's fucking dead. We're fucking out of here.
we refuse to go full gator poon on this podcast.
Gator poon. I love it.
But
Yeah, all right.
This has been episode 5 of Remotely Dope.
Yeah, let's just hang on. Before we actually end it, let's just say thanks for watching, everyone on YouTube, and comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and also make a comment if you want us to talk about something, see if we're not, if there's a topic that you're like, hey, maybe these guys should talk about it, and we'll see what happens, just fucking throw it at us and we'll be there, bitches.
throw that Molotov in the middle of the room. We'll catch that shit.
Hi, I'm Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs, and I've officially run out of ideas for this show. So I need submissions from viewers like you.
Have you ever been to the moon? Have you ever wondered who does the dishes? All right. I believe this is an outro now from us boys.
This has been Clayton Ladd.
Randy Kendrick.
Fucking me.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.